Hey everyone, let me drop something that's quietly making waves in the world of numismatics, and honestly, it's a bit of a cultural time capsule. Imagine this: you're at the grocery store, reaching for a snack, and you glance down at your change. There it is, a quarter with James Madison's face, staring back at you like he's judging your life choices. This isn't just a coin, it's a 250-year-old birthday party invite for America, and we're all getting forced to attend. What makes this really interesting is how the US Mint is using this anniversary to reframe our relationship with history. Instead of letting the Constitution fade into the background of textbooks, they're literally putting it in your pocket. But here's the kicker: most people will probably never notice. They'll just think it's another quarter, which is exactly the point. The government's sneaky way of saying, hey, remember this document that shaped your life, while you're paying for a coffee. Let's unpack this. The Constitution quarter isn't just a design change, it's a political statement wrapped in copper and nickel. James Madison on the front? He's the father of the Constitution, sure, but why him over, say, Washington or Jefferson? It's a subtle nod to the architects of governance, not the generals or presidents. The reverse, though, is where it gets wild. Independence Hall with "We the People" hovering above it? That's not just a pretty picture, it's a direct line from the ink-stained parchment of 1787 to your wallet in 2026. But here's what I find fascinating: the Mint is linking this to the Declaration of Independence quarter. They're creating a narrative that these documents aren't isolated events, they're a continuum. It's like a history lesson in your change jar, but most people will never realize it. What many don't realize is that this is part of a larger strategy to keep American history alive in everyday life, not just in classrooms or museums. Now, let's talk numbers. The production stats for these quarters are wild. The Mayflower Compact quarter? Over 300 million minted. The Revolutionary War one? 200 million. But the Constitution quarter? Just 3 million. That's like a fraction of the others. Why? Is this a deliberate move to make it scarce for collectors, or is it a logistical hiccup? I mean, if you're the Mint, you've got to balance between flooding the market and creating scarcity. The fact that only 3 million were produced before July makes me wonder if they're testing the waters. Are they trying to gauge collector interest before ramping up production? Or is this a way to keep the Constitution quarter feeling exclusive, like a hidden gem waiting to be discovered? It's a masterclass in psychological pricing, really. The scarcity creates value, even if the coin itself is just a quarter. And if you take a step back, this is a microcosm of how we value history today, through collectibles, not education. The real question is, what happens when the next generation of kids finds these coins? Will they see Madison's face and think, oh, he's the guy who wrote the Constitution, or will they just think, that's a cool picture? Because if it's the latter, then the whole exercise is a bit of a failure. But if it's the former, then the Mint has done something brilliant: they've turned a mundane object into a teachable moment. And let's not forget the other coins in this lineup. The redesigned dime and $50 without Roosevelt and Kennedy? That's a seismic shift. We're talking about removing two of the most iconic figures from American currency. What does that say about our values? Is it a rejection of the past, or a rebranding effort? I mean, Franklin D. Roosevelt is on the dime because of polio, and Kennedy on the $50 because of his assassination. Both are deeply tied to American identity. By swapping them out, the Mint is essentially saying, this is a new chapter. But here's the rub: people are going to notice. The first 3 quarters sold out instantly. Collectors are already scrambling. It's not just about history anymore, it's about ownership. These coins are becoming status symbols, and the Mint knows it. The real story here isn't just the Constitution quarter, it's the entire Semiquincentennial rollout. It's a full-scale experiment in how we remember, monetize, and maybe even reshape our national narrative. And the best part? We're all just along for the ride.